Hello! In this video I will show you how I built my bathroom cabinet with sliding doors. I start by cutting the side, bottom and top panels to length. I chose chipboard with oak veneer as it was easy to get, work with and it does not pull out of shape due to humidity. To protect and hide the really ugly edges of the chipboard, I'm using a strip of veneer with melt glue on its backside so I can use a hot iron to melt the glue. I'm using a piece of wood with paper to press the veneer tight. To remove the excess veneer, I tried different methods, and for me the best way is to remove most veneer with a router and the rest with a chisel and sandpaper. I'm connecting the side walls with dowels. So the next step is marking the position and drill the holes. I'm transferring the position with dowel pins and drill these holes as well. To attach the back panel, I'm cutting a rabbet with the router, using the top and bottom piece as guidance because I don't have any guide rail. I want to have 3 compartments in the cabinet, so next I'm cutting the 2 partitions. Due to the fact that the first cuts were not really 90 degrees, I decided to build a simple cross-cut slat, which I probably should have done at the beginning of the project, but well. I'm cutting the partitions in such a way that there's enough space for the sliding doors left. I'm adding veneer to the edges, but just the ones at the front side. Next, I'm connecting the partitions with dowels again, using a piece of wood as guidance. Finally, I'm cutting a rabbet for the rails for the sliding doors, again using the other pieces as guidance. Going into the project, I had to decide which dimensions the bathroom cabinet should have. I soon realized that the dimensions were heavily influenced by the size of the mirrors. So for some time I thought about cutting the mirrors myself, but in the end I decided against it as it was not worth the effort. Instead, I found good enough fitting mirrors and planned a bathroom cabinet around them. So the next step is cutting the doors. I'm doing a rough cut with a jigsaw first, and then I'm making a precise cut with a table saw. After that I'm adding all the veneer edges to the doors, which took way longer than I thought. Finishing the doors, I had to sand all surfaces and added 2 layers of clear varnish, which I didn't film. I had to apply the varnish in my apartment because it was way too cold in the workshop for the varnish to dry out. Nevertheless, I'm marking the positions for the sliding door hardware and drill the holes. In order to make sure that the back panels fit well into the corners of the backside rabbet, I'm using a chisel to remove the excess material, which I could have done earlier. Now it's time to put everything together. I'm setting in the rails in the top and bottom piece. Next, I'm gluing the cabinet together, again in my apartment, as it is still way too cold in the workshop. I don't have long enough clamps, so I had to be a bit creative, but in the end it worked pretty well. Next, I'm adding the fittings to the doors. On the bottom side is a small wheel on which the doors are sliding, and the top is simply held in place by a piece of plastic which runs in the other rail. Afterwards, I'm screwing the back panel on. Next, I attach lamps in the cabinet. Right now the cabinet is still upside down, allowing me to easily attach the lamps. The lamps are controlled by a motion detector, so they will light up automatically once the door is opened. To attach the mirrors to the doors, I'm using a mirror tape, and I had to make sure that there's enough pressure applied to connect it. Then I'm adding handles to the doors. Finally, I'm assembling everything in my bathroom. Thanks for watching and feel free to ask questions.